Let's fucking go. I guess.
The dreaded tooth gap coming back. One of the probably worst fears for somebody, especially who's been embraced for 4 years. And first off, people aren't normally embraced for 4 years. Normally it's like a year and a half, 2 years max, so don't worry about that. But seriously, people keep asking me, what the heck is going on and why is she embraced for 4 years? For her braces just go undone themselves in 2 hours? What gives? Well, you see, this unfortunate girl has a problem of what we like to call the relapse. And the number one form of relapse that we see is actually not crowding or crookedness or anything. It's the dang gap between the front teeth. And that's because a couple things. First off, the teeth sit in the bone with all these little bungee cords we call PDL fibers. So if you pull them inside this way, those cords will stretch out to the side, wanting to pull it back open. Two, most of these people that have these gaps that open up these quickly have really big, large diastemas or gaps. And so as you close the teeth together, this tissue in the middle ends up bunching up really tight between the teeth, forming almost a spring. And so for patients like this, the second they get their braces off, that tissue and those fibers together will push open that gap really quickly. Another thing is that gap probably formed initially because they're more of an underbite tendency, and so they're pushing on their upper teeth, causing this gap to open up. And so more than likely her bite is probably pretty tight right here in the front, hitting those teeth, causing that gap to open up too. And this is the exact reason why we use the bonded retainer. People are gonna say in the comments, permanent retainer, permanent retainer. It is not a permanent retainer. It will break at any point in time. You have no idea, and that gap will open up back. But this is what we have to do to at least get you in some area that's stable. So what we do is we go on the back of these two front teeth and we lock in a little wire, and we just bond that wire to the back of your two front teeth. And then we make a clear retainer over the top of that. The retainer up top that's glued onto the back of the two front teeth will hold those teeth together, and then the clear retainer will be a second line of defense that you can wear, because eventually you're going to break that permanent retainer. That gap's going to open up, so you need to pop that retainer in and you need to wear it until that gap fully closes, almost like a mini Invisalign case, and then go to your orthodontist again and they can rebond your permanent retainer on the back. So for her, even though her gap opened up, it was only 2 hours later, so she can pop in the retainer, it will close that gap back up, and then they're going to need to put a bonded retainer on there.